I'm Christopher Zweig, and today on CJ at the Movies, I review a new film adaptation of a Colleen Hoover book and a new Peaky Blinders movie. Let's take a look. Our first movie is Reminders of Him, the latest film adaptation of a Colleen Hoover book, and I have to admit I wasn't really looking forward to it because of how the last adaptation, Regretting You, was a bad movie. But as I watched this one, I found some good sides to it that's quite appealing. Maika Monroe stars as a young woman who returns to her hometown after serving a 7-year prison sentence for a car accident that kills her boyfriend. His parents, Bradley Whitford and Lauren Graham, also give her a restraining order from visiting her little girl, whom she gave birth to during her incarceration. Tyriq Withers, who had a bad year last year with I Know What You Did Last Summer in Him, is finally in a good movie role as a former NFL player turned bartender who was her dead boyfriend's best friend. At first, he tries to keep her from seeing her daughter, but he's able to see through her flaws. That's when the romance begins. Reminders of Him enters Nicholas Sparks territory with its corny moments, but it still has an emotional and likable side that allows the characters to handle their problems maturely. The two leads are both able to handle whatever formula the movie throws at them, and their acting keeps them grounded. I was thinking back to Manchester by the Sea, which kinda has a similar thing. You know, a character returning to a hometown with too many reminders of what has happened, and this movie, which is aimed towards young target audience, livens things up not for the sake of appeal, but for the sake of less irritation regarding the custody story and the criminal charges aimed at the main heroine. So see it. Our next movie is Slanted, the latest in a series of race satires to fight against racism by using a magical realism, and this one fights against Asian racism as the main heroine Joan, played by Shirley Chen from Didi, is a Chinese-American teenager who can't find popularity at her high school due to her race. Being the teenager wanting acceptance, she discovers an eccentric clinic called Ethnos, which could alter her skin fragmentation and make her look and sound like a white girl, and she goes through with it here in the form of Mckenna Grace. The girl's conversion affects her parents, who wanted her to embrace her Chinese heritage, and especially her best and only friend, played by Maitreya Ramakrishnan, who is of Tamil descent. She has to turn her now white back on her in order to get support to be the next prom queen from a social media influencer played by Emil Zilbar, who is a racist. You know, when somebody says a procedure is irreversible, you can tell it's not true, and with every experimental surgery, there are always side effects. Think of it like the face peel scene in Poltergeist merging with the body changes of the substance. Slanted has its problems regarding some of the now white Joan's behaviors, but it does have its funny moments and emotional consistency. Can she accept herself for who she is or who she was, and will her new appearance be her new identity? That's for the movie to know and for you to find out. But on both sides of the coin, Chen and Grace are both very good at adapting to such a girl with the right display of emotions and themes. It's not an easy satire to watch, but it does speak its mind and maybe gross us out a bit, so see it. Next up, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, the feature-length continuation of the hit BBC series which found American audiences on Netflix. But don't worry, I won't give out spoilers while it's still in theaters and waiting to be on Netflix next week. I'll just give you a general outline on what to expect and appreciate. Cillian Murphy returns as Tommy Shelby, who is writing a book and whose eldest son Duke, played by Barry Keoghan, has taken over the Peaky Blinders. Rebecca Ferguson is in a dual role as twin gypsy sisters, the dead Zelda, whom Tommy impregnated with Duke, and Kalu, who warns him that his son is in danger of working with the Nazi sympathizer John Beckett, played by Tim Roth. She's willing to let him live out his life in peace despite all the people he has killed if he puts things right. Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man does move a little fast in the screenplay, but it does have a lot of fun with the transition and knows the stakes of these gangsters and the time period. I've only seen parts of the show with my mom, being a faithful viewer, but I know when a crime story wants to get violent and use tough dialogue. I guess we should appreciate The Godfather and Goodfellas for inspiring many entertaining crime stories in other films or shows, and we should also appreciate how Murphy is able to transition his TV character to film with style and consistency. So see it. Next up, Spacewoman, a documentary on Eileen Collins, who became the first woman to command and pilot a spacecraft. In her early stages, she had a drunken father who ran the Collins pub and her mother who was stressed out by the pathos in her life. Eileen believed that flying was a source of escapism from it all. She wanted to overcome the cynicism of the belief that women weren't capable of flying or going into space. Eventually, she earned her opportunity to do so, and she was willing to take a lot of risks. Spacewoman also talks about how spacecrafts have suffered from accidents which NASA was trying to examine how they can be prevented. It deals with the stress of the astronaut's family, including Eileen's daughter Bridget and her Delta Airlines pilot husband Pat, and it reminds us on her persistence in making sure the space missions work out. Before the screening began at the Boulder International Film Festival last year, I congratulated Collins on her success, and I also wished her and the director Hannah Berryman luck on the doc, and after seeing it, I must say they both reach for the stars. There's plenty of oxygen in the space doc, especially with Eileen's voice and courage, and how her family dealt with things at the time, and through the archival footage of the space missions, it feels exhilarating. It opens next week in select theaters, and I say see it. And our last movie is Undertone, a Canadian horror movie about a young podcaster played by Nina Kiri from The Handmaid's Tale, whose latest episodes regard a series of recordings from a couple who may be experiencing some paranormal activity. most of which is hinted in nursery rhymes like Ba Ba Black Sheep or London Bridge is Falling Down. Her co-host can hear some strange messages in the recordings, but she's in denial. You bet she is. And she is also taking care of her comatose religious mother while facing some strange activity in her home. Undertone is the kind of movie where a young woman might think the noises are coincidences, but will be dealing with something strange in her home, and she's the one drawing something freaky with black and red crayons. And even though that kind of denying formula wears out its welcome, I think Undertone is terrifying through the sounds. We do see things from time to time, but mostly we're listening to what the recordings unfold for the hosts. This is how the podcasters close their show, and this is how I'm closing this review. Don't be afraid of the dark, be afraid of the silence. So see it. Recapping this week's new movies, thumbs up for Reminders of Him, thumbs up for Slanted, thumbs up for Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, thumbs up for Spacewoman, and thumbs up for Undertone. Well, those are the new movies I'm reviewing this week. I'm Christopher Zweig. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the movies.